Hey, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another edition of the Jack and Glenn Show. I'm Glenn. This is my beautiful wife.
Jackie.
Hey, Jackie, how you doing?
I didn't know this was the Jack and Glenn show.
Why not? It's the Jack and Glenn Show.
It's the channel.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, it's the channel. I'm not even going to change that or edit out. It's the Jack and Glenn channel. And we're here to review Married at First Sight, Season 9, Episode 7. Boy, what a great show it was last night. It started off a little slow, but towards the end it picked up. Let's start with Greg and Deanna. That's your favorite couple.
I love them. They remind me of us.
A little bit, yeah, because he got some great jokes like I do.
No, they're lame.
And she's very sarcastic,
Yes.
just like you.
I don't know if I would say very.
Well, she's sarcastic.
Me, but anyway, yeah. So they're cute. I think they're very cute, and Greg is kind of getting close with Deanna.
And Deanna's kind of opening up with Greg.
She's there.
Maybe because it was his birthday.
Maybe she want to be nice for his birthday. I think she's going to keep being nice. She said she was.
But she was good. I mean, I'm glad the fact that she started opening up with him and they all started opening up each other. And she's told him why she's being slow and being cautious because she was out there at one time and she would give up the goodies before she get to know the people.
Yeah, she said she had a lot of situationships. I hope you all out there know what what those are. Situationships are. Okay, so it's like my buddy, my friend, my pal, but we have relations.
With benefits. Friends with benefits.
Friends with benefits. So she's had a lot of friends with benefits, and she doesn't want to do that anymore.
Yeah, and so she wanted to get to know Greg. That's why they've been moving slow. It's been 2 weeks, so she didn't want to have sex with him right off the bat. She wanted to get to know who Greg was, and she started opening up. She brought a cake home for Greg, saying happy birthday.
Brought a cookie cake.
A cookie cake, and they started having conversation. They started talking, and Greg was making comments that he thought he was gonna get some,
and she was like, "No, sorry."
But they also let their friends mingle with each other, and what was cool that their friends remembered each other from the wedding. And I thought it made the atmosphere nice and relaxing, and she had a little party for Greg, and it was good. And so it opened up their relationship, and believe it or not, they were probably the calmer ones on this episode.
Yeah, no drama there. No drama there at all. They were really cute.
Yeah, they was really cute together. So it was good for Greg and Deanna to actually see them going together, and she opened up a little bit. So I'll be interested to see what the comments are this week about Deanna, because a lot of you guys commented about Deanna last week, how you thought this would be a relationship that wouldn't last. But this week she turned around just a little bit, and Greg maybe end up getting some cookie. And I ain't talking about the one she brought home.
I want to say this real quick, and then we can go to Iris and Keith.
Yeah,
I thought it was cute and sweet that her sister actually brought a gift for Greg. Deanna's sister bought a gift for Greg. It's like, okay, so she kind of filling the family thing out. I thought that was nice.
Yeah, it was part of the family, the atmosphere that you had to do something with the other couple, had to bring your two worlds together, whether it was your friends or whether it was your family. And we saw with Iris and Keith, speaking of families together, kind of on a sad note, because Keith's grandmother is still struggling with her cancer, and she was in the hospital, and it was cute how Iris like, is it okay if I come with you? Yeah, I'm glad that she asked, because they just met, they're in a relationship, and that is one of a touchy situation, and that was touchy for her and him, to speak, because you have a loved one that you care about who's kind of in dire straits. I'm not gonna say on the last leg, but 1 foot in, 1 foot out. And Iris broke down a little bit. She showed her emotion. She broke down talking about it.
Yeah. It's funny because sometimes a lot of couples don't even encounter those kind of situations until they're, ways into their relationship. And so they're having to deal with it up front. And I thought it was nice that he allowed her to be there for him and his family, and his family allowed her to be there, and she was a support for him. That was good. That was a nice setup, because later on.
Yeah, later on. But before we get to later on, even Iris's mother, was so nice and so sweet. Like Keith, anything that you need, anything that your family need, please let us know. We're here for you. We wanted to help you out.
And she said, I've reached out to your mom.
I reached out, yeah.
It is nothing like good in-laws. You know, when your parents and his parents get along, that is just awesome. I thought that was really sweet.
Yeah, it was definitely sweet. So their friends had to mix up. Iris's friends and Keith's friends had to come together, and we knew this Iris always had this side.
Yeah.
We knew there was something about Iris and that she had a side to her. We saw it when the ring was lost. We saw it when she found the condoms in the desk, in the drawer.
And don't sit on this part of the bed in your outside clothes. And so what I named Iris, if Jamie is Mr. Picky, I'm calling Iris Miss Particular.
She's Miss
Maybe
Particular.
even Miss Peculiar, because she's getting there. She's getting strange.
She's getting there. So they had a party. They all talked and they all mingled. They were getting along together. Then Keith's friends went in the refrigerator and took some juice.
Lemonade specifically.
Lemonade that was for Iris and Keith.
It was in the refrigerator. She said, we bought drinks just for this occasion that we had out. And they went, and your friends went in the refrigerator and they drank my lemonade.
And then she put them on a 2-drink minimum.
Yeah. Yeah.
2-drink minimum. I come to your house and you only can get 2 drinks.
She put them on a 2-drink minimum. And man, after they left, did she have some words?
This is the first time we really see them argue. She has some words for Keith, and Keith was like, nah, my friends are used to doing that. They can come in and go in my refrigerator because that's what we do. This is how we do it.
And he was like, your friends... No, she said, my friends would never do that. And I'm thinking because they know how particular you are.
Now, Iris said she had roommates before. I'm sure she's that roommate that had their name on all their stuff.
Don't touch my stuff.
Don't touch my... I know about that, but I'm not saying from how. What? But I know about that. Don't touch certain people's things. But we ain't gonna say no names. But Iris said, Iris and her roommates... Iris and Keith had deep discussion about, and you saw Keith get a little, I ain't say aggressive.
That's just
a little bass in his voice.
Kind of antsy, like.
These my friends. They can be able to go in our refrigerator, and there's nothing you gonna say, woman.
I don't know if he went that.
He didn't go that far, but you can see he was getting that far. Nothing you can say, and she was still like, no, yes they are. They're gonna respect our house and respect us. They just can't go in our refrigerator. I don't know about you. There's still some friends that come to my house that can't go in our refrigerator.
Yeah, and then I think she was kind of like putting it back on Keith, like you should have told your friends not to go in the refrigerator, but he wouldn't have because for his friends that's cool.
That was cool, and then she didn't make. There was no rules. I don't know if they made the rules like, okay, this is what's for the party. This is what we're eating, y'all. This is what we're drinking. This is what we have out here. So don't touch anything else. You shouldn't have to say that, but if you know you're Iris and you Miss Particular, you should say that.
Yeah.
So,
on to the next one.
Matt and Amber.
Oh, my gosh. So we opened up with their conversation in the car, and they're talking about kids. And Matt dropped the bomb.
Dropped the bomb on her.
He said, probably about 5 to 7 or 8 years I'm looking at having kids. And was like, what?
What? 8 years? She said,
what?
She said, I'm gonna
be 35.
She
said, I don't want to do that.
Nah, she didn't want to. She didn't want to wait that long for kids. Now, what he said was he didn't say he didn't like kids. He didn't say. He said he wanted kids. Matter of fact, they were talking about Love and Basketball, which was funny. What was funny to me.
One of my favorite movies is Love and Basketball.
And then they both love. He said he wanted to name his son Quincy so he can call him Q. Who would have known? Who would have thought? Love and Basketball.
Who'd have thunk it?
Who'd have thunk it? Love and Basketball. If you haven't watched Love and Basketball, make sure you check that movie out.
Please, it's a
very
good movie.
Very, very good movie. But then it comes to 8 years. Now, nobody wants to wait 8 years. 8 years?
That's a long
time. And a lot of things can happen in 8 years. And I know there's child discussion, and then Married at First Sight has been 2 weeks, and then baby discussion does come up. But 8 years? Nah, that's a long time, brother. Make somebody wait. She's 35. She wants to have kids like yesterday.
Yeah. And it makes you wonder what is going on with Matt. I mean, he's just...
But it's
like...
I think I told you when we watched it, he's part of a divorced relationship. So we don't know how much about his family or how much it hurt him. he may just want to say, I want to make sure my marriage is solid before I put kids in it. And he kind of say that. He wanted to make sure the foundation was set and was straight, that they would not leave afterwards.
But when you put it in contrast with his family, I mean, even if he waited 8 years to have kids, he said his parents were married 30-something years before they got divorced.
Yeah.
So waiting the 8 years, is that a solid enough foundation? I mean, I know I'm sure he thought, oh, my parents been together for a long time, and it like rocked him when they got divorced. So
yeah, but but one thing I like about it, she talked to her twin sister, which they actually do. They really look alike. I know twins supposed to look alike, but they really look alike. And she kind of calmed her down a little bit. And then when Matt started interacting with her family, and they started cracking jokes, and they started liking him, he knew what she was. And even though he said he knew her by like a 2, and but she became relaxed, and their relationship got better. It wasn't no major argument. It seemed like there was something they could be able to talk about and discuss. Even though he said 8 years, a lot of things can happen within that time frame if they choose to stay married. So it may not be 8 years. So I thought the interaction with her family, and Matt was pretty good. They like him. He's funny. And I think he will grow on them. But then we get to the end of the show.
Well, before we get there, real quick, I just wanted to say too, I think it was Amber got some good insight, not only talking to her twin sister, but she got some good insight when all the girls went out
we forgot about
to eat too. She got some insight, and she kind of pulled back a little bit on the thing with Matt being in the bathroom, in the other bathroom with this stuff. It helped her put it in perspective. I think Iris said it. She put it in perspective like, oh, okay, so maybe I did go a little overboard. Yeah,
because Iris and Keith, have different bathrooms. Because Keith has a lot of hair products, Iris have a lot of hair products, and it wasn't enough room. So she really understood where Iris was coming from when she actually explained why her and Keith used different bathrooms. Yeah. Even the guys chimed in, like when Matt was telling the guys, they're like, "Oh, you went to the bathroom down the hall?" Which lets you know their apartments are the same. They all asked the same question: who had relationships, or who had sex yet? And of course, Matt raised his hand, and Jamie raised his hand. And on the women's side, Elizabeth shared that her and Jamie has had sex. And also Amber explained that her and Matt has sex.
Yeah, Amber was like, well, I was the first.
I was the first. And
I was the first.
We know Elizabeth would have been the first, but Mother Nature called.
Right.
Yeah. So,
which goes to their other conversation later at the end of the show.
At the end of the show. But we stay on Matt and Amber real quick because Matt went out with his friend.
Oh, can we save that for last? That was like the last thing.
All right, we save that for last. Let's go to Elizabeth.
My gosh, that's like, oh my gosh.
Elizabeth and Jamie.
Okay, so Elizabeth and Jamie.
Jamie
was like leery about getting back with Elizabeth's dad. Because Mr. Touchy-Feely don't want to turn my daughter loose. Don't know how this gonna be.
But Elizabeth's mom didn't care. She went straight to it. Like, y'all had sex yet?
Oh, I don't know. Listen, I couldn't take that question from like, ooh, why you asked that?
She didn't wait. It seemed like she got in the house, put her coat off, and like, okay, y'all have sex yet? And she was like, they were like, yeah, kinda, yeah. Elizabeth was like, well, if you ask, I wonder how they didn't show how dad reacted. He was like, oh. But yeah,
I know he cringed.
He cringed on the inside.
He cringed.
And so they got to talk about relationships. They asked that they want kids, and both of them had discussed kids. So Jamie backed Elizabeth up when she was like, well, we want to get to know each other first 2 or 3 years, but then come to find out neither one of them really want kids anytime soon.
Or I think they said not at all.
Not at all, yeah.
Not at all, but in that space, they gave their parents the impression, oh, we want to wait. So in that scene, they were like a team. They both kind of agreed subliminally.
And the dinner went pretty well. All the questions, the joking, the asking, they asked about, I believe Jamie's stepmom asked about Elizabeth's job. Like, what actually do you do? Do you work for your father's company? We noticed that you ain't been to work in a while. And so, Dad would explain, she works for me and she's this, that, and the other, and she works in sales. And so it was her father's company and she works. So he's giving her some time off to get acclimated with her new husband. I'm not mad at him.
No, I'm not mad at him.
Your parents the boss and then give you the time to take it.
Yeah.
But which that comes up later on in the conversation with Jamie and Elizabeth, because after everyone leaves, the dust settles. Elizabeth and Jamie sitting on the couch and they're talking about Jamie's parents. When did your parents get divorced? And and she's just asking questions, getting to know a little bit more about Jamie. And I think she's asking questions like, I don't want us to end in a divorce. So kind of why did your parents get a divorce? So I make sure I don't open that wound up. That's the way I perceived it.
Right. I took it that way too, but he did not like that at all.
Well, he started throwing shots.
Oh my gosh. Boom.
He brought out the big guns. He started talking about she was a smart, how nepotism, the reason she had a job. She talked about, well, I've been on every interview I got before I got the job. He was all these jobs your dad's company. Now Jamie,
ooh, so shady.
Jamie
was shady. Come on, man.
Get yourself together. Everybody got a job because they know a friend who had a friend who had a friend that got him in the job.
Right, I understand that, but at the same time, we also know of or heard of people that are just at their parents' companies, their jobs, or what businesses, just because they don't really do anything. They just have them on payroll. So I think Jamie was trying. Jamie was saying there's something wrong with that. He doesn't want a woman that's just riding her dad's coattails.
But he doesn't understand. If he's smart enough, realize if she riding the dad coattails, something happens to dad, she's next in line. So that company that he's talking about may be his in the future if they stay married.
That's true, but I don't, at the time, Jamie's not thinking about that. He's just like, do I have a lazy woman on my hand? But really, he was just on some get back because he didn't like all the questions about his parents.
And then he gets up and he leaves. And he packs a cat.
He left.
Then he comes back with some flowers because she mentioned, I want flowers 2 or 3 times a month. And he comes back and they try to have a grown folks conversation.
Jamie says, look, back to what Pastor Cal said, he wanted to have a naked moment.
Yeah, he wanted to have a naked moment.
I think Elizabeth forgot about that lesson. But anyway, so he was like, let's have a serious conversation. I really want to talk. And
then when they got to talking, more guns came out and bullets started flying.
Oh my gosh, they both came out guns blazing.
Talking about their sex life, which I'm confused. Maybe you guys can help us out. What is Caucasian basic sex or Caucasian sex? Because she said it, not us. We didn't say it, but Elizabeth said it. She said you have basic Caucasian sex. Now, both of y'all Caucasian. I don't know what basic Caucasian sex is. Please let me know in the comment section what is basic Caucasian sex.
Elizabeth.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, she got to explain that one. Who's somebody asked her to read?
She was like, it's boring.
It's boring. And she looked like she a firecracker. But they talked about the sex situation. She asked him, was he a nymphomaniac? That's all he wanted was sex. He thought he wasn't getting it enough. Now, y'all been married about 15 days. The times that I can count on camera, probably had sex about 5-6 times. Mm-hmm. Right? 5-6 times in 15 days. You're in the upper echelons, bro. You're doing very well for yourself. Very well for yourself.
But the thing was that, we want to get deeper. I feel like that's all we're doing. Mm-hmm. So can we really, I'm trying to get to know you. You trying to get to know me. Why is it just based on that? But it just blew up. It just did not go well. That whole conversation.
The conversation bad. It's like to the point you felt like watching it, you want to cringe a little bit like, ooh, did he just go there? Like,
did she say that?
Did she say that? Like they throwing shots and then she tried to calm him down and it got bad. It got really bad and it's gonna take a miracle. I can't wait till they meet one of the experts. Yeah. And they have this conversation. I want to see what the experts say about this.
If you saw the preview, it's gonna get
if you saw the preview, not trying to spoil anything for anybody, but if you saw the previews, next week is gonna be very explosive because somebody asked. They use the D word.
Yeah.
They use the D word already. I haven't seen anybody that quick use the D word in all the years of watching the show.
And it's between them and Amber and Matt. Let's go back to that. So they show camera in the apartment. Matt comes home. Amber's not there. Matt leaves. Amber comes home. 4 something in the afternoon. 5 something. 6, 7.
Phone goes
8,
to voicemail.
9. To midnight.
No answer.
She texts him.
No response.
She calls him.
No response.
Nothing. Like, Matt, that is not cool. Y'all are newlyweds. From what we can tell, I mean, they didn't have a blow up or anything. Like, I don't have a problem with you hanging out with your friends, but can you answer a text message? And she be on edge. She feel like somebody gonna leave me. Oh my God, what did he do? Because they even showed her on the phone with her dad, right?
She just
crying, panicking.
It's like a kid when their parents go out to the grocery store and don't come back for a long time.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like, what's going on? I mean, she was really like, he's gonna leave me. She's had so much anxiety about him leaving her, and she's crying and boohooing. And it's 2:00 in the morning, and he just comes in.
Not good, Matt.
And she's crying and boohooing. So that right there is just setting up for episode 8, because there's gonna be a lot of explosions. 7 had us a lot of explosions, but 8 is gonna take it to a whole nother level.
Yeah.
Man, but hey, we thought the show was pretty good. Your final thoughts on?
I thought it was good. I think we're starting to get to the nitty gritty right about now.
Yeah.
Everybody's starting to show your true colors. Yeah.
Shining through. And it's starting to warm up a little bit. Not that I want to see drama and anything of that nature, but you're starting to see people starting to let their walls down, and they start to show you who they really are. And, you know, hey, but if you like the show, you like the comment, please leave a comment in the comment section below. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you give us a thumbs up, a bell notification. Make sure you continue to watch out for bigger and better things for the Jack and Glenn show. Channel. Yeah.
He'll get it right.
I get it right one day. I'm always messing up. So
thanks for joining us. We'll see you next week.
See you next week.
Bye.